Hey y'all, welcome to episode 274 of Consignment Chats. Ladies, you know how no one talks about the cost of building your own business? Very rarely do people talk about it. You just see all the highlights. It's like, the family looks perfect because all their vacation things. Well, the resellers look perfect because of all their bolos, their sales. They bought this for $2 and sold it for $200. All of it sounds perfect, but we need to talk about this. Don't get me wrong. We love what we do. We do. Yeah. We all love it. I mean, we wouldn't be here for how many years now doing what we do if we didn't love what we do.
So many years.
Yes. But we always like to keep it real with y'all. That is our job. We keep it real. And there are some things that nobody warns you about. There just are. So we're going to take this episode, talk about some of the things about being your own business owner in the reselling industry. And if you're not and you found us, a lot of this may relate to your own owning your own, any kind of business, working from home on your own schedule. So stick around and hang on till the end, because guess what, y'all? We're going to have some ideas that might actually help you out.
Hey y'all, welcome to Consignment Chats, reselling tips, mindset, and real life. Hit subscribe and let's grow together.
All right, I want us to start with something that I struggled with for so long, and I still kind of struggle with it, but I had to reorganize it. Boundaries. What boundaries? Do we have boundaries in this world? Do we?
Oh man, I think you gotta set boundaries. Holy schmoly! This was a very hard one, and I mean, like you said, we still
continue process.
Yeah, but we've all come a long way. So good job, ladies. Good job. We've all come a long way.
If you've been a long time listener, you've heard me say I don't work on weekends. That was like the first year or two. I don't work on weekends was my thing, because that was my thing when my child was young. I would never take a job doing anything if it made me work on weekends, because I want to be with my family. Well, guess what? I can't use that anymore because, number one, he's off adulting. He doesn't live here anymore. And so my boundaries have changed. Those boundaries didn't work, but it took me a while to let go of that, because I would say it and Libby and Samantha would laugh because they would know we had 7 things planned for that weekend. And I finally had to have my own aha moment, right? And figure it out. So there's that. What other boundary issues do we find as somebody working from home?
Can we talk about our doors and the fact that people think they're always open? Always. Like, if you go back to episodes from 2-3 years ago, like Libby and I constantly just had people behind us. We were always taking off our headphones. Like,
you see the little mute icon going on, like, oops. How many times?
Yeah, I have a good solution for that one. So stay tuned.
Good,
been working pretty well. Yeah.
Are your parents tied up in the basement?
Right. So for me, for that, it's not as bad during the week, because most of the time my husband goes to the office, but there are a lot of times he wants to stay at home, and I do have to deal with that issue of, I want to be excited that he's home, but sometimes I'm like, really? You're staying home? Don't you want to go to the office? Like, because I'll be in the middle of something. I mean, we were having one of our mastermind meetings last week, and he was home, and we're actually having a conversation with a paid Patreon member, helping them out. And he's in the background in the kitchen popping off with advice or little comments. And I muted, turn around, I go, would you shut your pie hole, please? This is a meeting.
So, I mean, we had the issue of people coming into our space, but also us taking reselling into their space or into family time.
Correct.
Our whole business can be accessed on our phones. And there's usually
my kids called me out so many times at the dinner table. I can't even begin to tell you. Well, we don't have our phones at the dinner table. Why are you having yours? And why are you doing business while we're having dinner? It was a pretty good point, because it's just like you feel like you're taking it everywhere, right? We don't. The boundaries apply to everybody else, not us.
Right.
I'm making money. I'm sitting here at the dinner table making money. I'm putting that food on the table.
You're like, you're not going to get that mac and cheese if I don't respond to this eBay message right now.
Yep.
How much do you like what's on your plate, young man?
Yep.
There's that. I mean, how many times we go to bed at night and answer questions, and then I get frustrated when I get messages from somebody after normal business hours, and then they follow up like 5 minutes later with a "why haven't you responded?" And I'm like, why do you think I need to respond at 12:05 a.m.? Like, this
because
is
it's only 9:05 in California, and they really want that pair of shoes.
But they should understand that you need to give a good 12, 24 hours before you start complaining about a response, right? So I would find myself late at night with my phone. I got a solution for that too, y'all, because I was always late at night doing things on my phone. The problem with that is then you get angsty if it's something negative. You worry if it's something that somebody asks about and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope that's still in inventory. Am I going to be able to find that item? What if I can't find it? You know, all these things. And then you're emotional and then you can't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So
you're constantly in reactive mode instead of proactive mode. Always. Correct. Yep.
Now I got a true confession, and I don't know that this is going to change now because I really liked it this morning. I wake up earlier than normal a lot lately. It just seems to be my jam. Libby can attest to this after going on vacation with me. I too daggum early. I am not like Libby. I'm not waking up at 5 to go to the gym. I'm waking up at 5 and I don't go to the gym. But I actually got my phone this morning.
Comparison is the thief of joy, my friend.
It wasn't negative. It's just that's not what I do with my 5 a.m. wake up. What am I going to do with my 5 a.m. wake up? Well, I did get my phone and lay back in bed, and I did social media for consignment chats for a few times, like threw some stuff up in the stories. And then I decided later, after getting home and after Motivation Minutes, that I kind of like that because that's that one time I can block and schedule as my body's waking up to do that and share those 5 items on stories on their stories every morning.
Maybe that's a boundary you don't need to establish.
I think I'm okay with it because of the fix of all my other phone issues at bedtime, which we'll talk about at the end of this. And I think one of the other things we need to talk about is guilt. How many times? Go ahead.
If we're not doing those things, if we're not answering that email at dinner time, or we're not checking our phone a lot on vacation, or listing on vacation, or any of the tasks that we would normally do, we feel so guilty. It's so hard because our business doesn't run without us, essentially. I mean, we can have assistants with stuff, we can have helpers, but like, we are our business.
Yeah. So you feel guilty, and there's so much guilt that gets tossed everywhere. You feel guilty because you're not giving your husband your attention, your children your attention, your house your attention, or you're not giving your business attention because you're giving your spouse your attention, or you're giving the neighbors the attention they wanted. And then you're over there feeling guilty that you're not back home doing something else. So we got to give some advice on that one too. Because you know what, you can, this, you get into this business and you're like, oh, I can work anytime I want now. And it ends up turning into what? I'm working all the freaking time, all the time. And that's not healthy. So, yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yep. All right, let's talk about something that I swore was never going to be an issue, and it's the biggest issue I battle on the daily.
All the time.
Can you girls guess what it is?
Yeah. Your house is a warehouse, baby.
I'm glad we're talking about your house instead of mine.
Well, Libby's able to throw that out because she was just at my house and saw what was going on. So that's why that easily came out of her mouth. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this in very recent episodes about how that can happen so fast, right?
Oh, we hear that all the time. I mean, I've been there. My last house was a warehouse. It just was overrun. Just absolutely overrun with inventory. It was a workspace more than it was a home. Yeah.
Yeah.
That can be really frustrating.
Yeah.
You and your family.
Yeah, correct. Yes, for you and your family, for sure.
Yeah, it's constant clutter, but at the same time, you see the dollar signs and, you know, the reasons that a scale, I'm going to use my house, for example, the reason that a scale and a Sharpie and a measuring tape sit on top of the dog kennel in the living room, because that is a great spot to finish your packaging. But then when you're sitting down trying to watch a movie at night, you're like, oh my God, why do I do that over there? It looks terrible. Like, yeah.
Well, I got to admit, we might have a scale and a measuring tape sitting right smack in the middle of our main living area on the dining table. Right there. It sits there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to be fair, Diamond's kennel is the size of a dining room table. So
Correct.
Yeah, you can't have that wasted space. You might as well put some resale stuff on it. Absolutely.
It's a good chunk of countertop. I'm just saying.
Correct. And this may not happen to everybody. I don't know. I've never looked this up. Is it an everybody thing? Is it a me thing? Is it a certain brain type thing? But when there is clutter around, I just don't focus well at all. At all. Is that an everybody thing?
Pretty much. Yeah. There's a lot of research and studies that say visual clutter is, just very distracting, defeating, all of that. And I always think about, something I read years ago, and it talked about CEOs of top companies. And if you walk in, all of the top CEOs have a very clean, clutter-free, focused work environment. And that's not by accident. That is it's not by accident. Yeah.
Well, you'll be proud. I did reset my living room to 0 last night before I went to bed.
Good job. Where did you set everything?
No, because I've gotten so much organized down there with my 12-week year goal this year that I was able to reset to 0 in a very good way. I did not stuff anything into a closet with a bowling ball.
Good job.
It had a place. So yeah, I was woke up this morning and I was like, oh, now looky there.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Look at what's going on here. Yeah, it really does. It really does feel so good. All right, tell us in the comments, and I'm going to ask you girls this. I want to know. Name one room in your home that has nothing reselling related in it. Nothing to do with your business. One room in your home. Come on.
Is that a thing? Okay, and it can't be your bathroom. Let's just.
I don't know, because I was kind of going to go with bathroom.
I think I more want to know. Does anybody have anything reseller related in their bathroom? I want to know that too.
Let's go. Yeah. I can tell you right now, for me, my only safe zone that's clear is my bathrooms. That's it.
Okay.
My bedroom. I don't like having bags. Well, my bedroom is also a third the size of your bedroom. If I had the extra space yours, that whole thing would have shelves and inventory.
Like it does now, only there's no shelves. There's just a whole bunch of inventory in that little space over there. Where there could be a beautiful settee and reading nook with beautiful lighting and plants. And no, we've got boxes and bags and product everywhere. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's a reseller thing, because I would do the same thing with that.
We're gonna. So this is Samantha and Molly. Now we're gonna switch this to Libby. Libby, how many rooms can you tell us have nothing reselling in your house? Libby's a minimalist, and a true to the core minimalist.
My whole upstairs is reselling free.
Look at that. Now tell everybody what is upstairs. What's upstairs? I mean, is that just one room? What's upstairs?
Three bedrooms, dining room, living room, kitchen, bathroom. Yeah, all of it is totally reseller free. Yeah.
All right. So we're not even going to hold out on you, y'all. That would be the answer for what the end of this would be on that particular topic. If
and that's not I mean, that's not attainable. It wasn't attainable in my other house, right?
Yeah.
In either of my other houses, it was not attainable. I mean, Samantha can attest to the fact. You were at my last house and you saw my bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah. Totally overrun.
I think it's on me though. I have 2 stories, and my house is only 1,000 square feet, but we utilize the basement. It's really on me. Like, I'm just too overwhelmed half the time to even know where to start with the stuff that's downstairs, or I really have to sit and think, like, okay, I'm going to clean out this corner of this room right now and just do it. Like, because I know I could make it so that there wasn't anything in my living room or my dining room or my kitchen or my other living room or
Yeah, so I did that when we remodeled our downstairs. I swore that nothing was like, if I could bring one bag in, list it, and take it back out, but there was not going to be this chaos. And I think it took about 4 months before the shizzle hit the fan.
maybe 5. I mean, yeah,
maybe 5 months, and then I'm like, this is not working. So we can discuss that at the end of this, because something needs to change.
All right.
This is not working. This is not working.
Let's do that.
This is not working at all. Now, this weekend, I was sitting out on my porch enjoying the kind of chilly, but I'm not complaining because I know Samantha's weather is much colder, sunny day. And I had this thought about how, and this is why, because I went to the library to get some work done on Saturday morning.
Yeah, you texted me. You're like, I'm in the library, and the phone keeps chinging with eBay sales or something like that. Are you
stop accepting offers? Yeah.
I'm like, Libby.
After she texted me, I was like sitting here for a little bit. I'm like, she's at the library?
Good job.
I'm like, Libby, like, everybody's looking at me like I'm some kind of teenage hoodlum over here, because it was on, like, the sound was off, but it was sitting on the tabletop, so it kept going, and it was like buzzing. I finally just put it in my hand and kept working so that the buzz wouldn't vibrate on the table.
We had a lot of offers, a lot.
Libby had a lot of offers, and I was like, wait, and then Nick said something about an offer he took, and I'm like, oh, so you were in it with Libby? He goes, no, I only had one. I go, oh, so the other 20-something were Libby buzzing me out in the library, and people are looking at me like, what are you doing? But I was thinking about this because I did that, and I was thinking about when I used to work the go-to jobs, like when I was a teacher, it was structured. And I know, Samantha, you could talk a lot about this with the medical world, Libby, with you in banking, you've done several different structured jobs. I think that's another point that's hard, that you go from such a structured environment to suddenly free. Right?
Oh my God. Well, I had Google Calendar PTSD and refused. You wonderful ladies, I don't even know how you dealt with me for the first year and a half after I left my job. I refused to look at a calendar. I didn't want to put anything on a calendar. I didn't want to look at a schedule. I literally got heart palpitations opening a Google Calendar because my life was so run by them in my corporate job. And then I don't know, when I had my midlife crisis or whatever the heck it was, I just was like, I'm never touching a calendar again. So
done.
Thank you for holding my hand as we ease back into it. And my life now revolves around a calendar again, but not like before. But yeah, we still need structure, but it definitely feels weird going from living on someone else's schedule to, I can make my own. Great. I have
all the time in the world. Look at all this freedom. That's why I do my job. And everybody's saying to you, hey, you run your own business. You have so much flexibility, so much freedom. You must have so much free time. I'm like, it's not really the way it works. But that's what others think. And that plays back into boundaries as well. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know for me, I'm a procrastinator. I'm like our friend Billy, our Patreon buddy Billy. We're I was the kid in college where the paper was due on Monday. So Sunday night from 9 to Monday morning at 3 a.m., I was writing that paper, right? That's me. I'm a procrastinator. Been one my entire life. So this just feeds into procrastination, y'all. If you're going off the freedom and not building some kind of structure, it just feeds procrastination.
Yeah. It was a great paper, though, I bet. Fantastic.
Oh, so good. I'm sure I got an A. Depends on what subject it was, but I'm sure.
Yeah, I did a reseller reflection. I have, for those of you that don't know, a separate podcast, Reseller Reflection, or it's here on our YouTube channel that I pretty much do every day. What it's like to be a day in the life of a reseller, but I did one on too much flexibility, right? Like, where's that line? Because we can have too much flexibility, but I'll link that up in the show.
Well, and you're trying to train your family too. So I went from like part of the reason that I got burned out in healthcare is because I didn't get to go to any Maria's basketball games. I didn't get to go to family things. I was just working all the time. And then I left, and I'm trying to set up some sort of structure with my business and figure out my flow and my processes. Now, granted, when I left, I had 25 things listed on eBay. So I was trying to learn reselling, and I'd already went full time. It was nuts. And my family is like, will you make your own hours now? You can come to the barbecue. And then a couple days later, will you make your own hours now? You can. And anytime I told them no, or I tried to like reason with them or bargain with them, they always made the joke, well, your boss is a biatch all the time. Like all the time.
They would talk bad about you right there in your face.
To the like a couple times it was funny. Oh yeah, she is, she's real strict. And then eventually I'm like, guys, you got to quit saying that. Like, I am trying to run a business like that's paying for the Airbnb we're using this weekend. Like, can we please just like respect that? And it was hard because they just see like, oh, you don't work for the hospital anymore. You can do it, whatever you want. You can figure it out.
Right.
But then when we're on that trip and I'm like, hey, I got to stop at a thrift store today and I need to list a couple things before we head home, or like I try to balance it out. And they're like, that's ridiculous. I thought we were on vacation. And I'm like, well, it's been 10 days, guys. I can't do it for 10 days. Come on.
I ran into this like totally with the divorce and like split custody of the kids, right? I'm especially when I had the store, it would be like, oh, well, you're around all summer. And I'd be like, right. I'm running a business. I'm running a store. I have, I still have to work. I'm not just around.
And she had to say, and Molly won't work weekends. So that's
Molly
another
won't
issue.
Work weekends. So there's that. Yes. That was a huge issue for me.
My brother got really upset with me because I said, well, I can help out with your girls. Like, let me know. And he said, well, I really need Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I was like, I could do like these hours on these days, if that helps. Like, and he flat out just got mad because I work from home. Why aren't I helping him? And I'm like, why?
Because I got to make a living. Right. I'm still trying to make a living and pay the bills. I'm not,
But it's hard to have those boundaries too. There's a lot of people that can't say no. They say, okay, I can take my nieces or my granddaughter or whatever it is and still balance this. And those are the ones that we see struggling too, is because they're trying to balance it all and not saying no or setting those hours or time frames.
Yeah.
And I mean, I felt like almost like I didn't have the right to do that. To say, you know what, I'm working. This is like, I don't know. I guess it's developing. We'll talk about that in boundaries again, developing those boundaries. But like, I felt like I didn't have the right to say that because I am home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Or when your child looks at you and goes, I thought that you left your job so you could come to everything.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
This is going to roll us right into the difference between busy and productive, because there are many times that I say to myself, or I may say to you ladies, oh, I'm busy, or I'll say to Nick, oh, it's a busy day. Let's talk about when you're not like accountable to any boss. The CEO is not there because you're the CEO.
One thing comes to mind for me, and it's called shot glasses.
Shot
that
glasses.
Is the
Go ahead. Tell the story.
Really busy. So I got this consignment. I have these great consigners, and there were boxes and boxes, and there was an entire box, hundreds of shot glasses, probably about 200 shot glasses. And I was like, all right, well, I could just do these. So I spent days photographing, listing, all the things for these shot glasses. I was really, really busy. Nobody could bother me because I was working on the shot glasses. And oh man, I lost my shirt on those. in time, not in money. Like they just didn't sell. Like, and I knew it as I was doing it, but I felt like, all right, I'm busy. Like I got some sort of satisfaction. Was it productive? It was the opposite of productive. It was a
Right.
productivity drain. But yeah, we can trick ourselves in all sorts of ways like this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have real busy days when I decide to go thrifting. Those are busy days. Busy. But do I need to thrift?
No, we need to clean our dang living rooms out. That's what we need to do.
I don't need to thrift, but I love to shop. I go out and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, honey, I didn't get this and this done, but I was busy thrifting today. Yeah. That's busy. It's not what's bringing in the money, you know.
I mean, for some people that is productive. For you, it's busy. For some people
me,
that
it's
absolutely
busy.
is productive. Yeah.
I think it's
it's rare, but there are people, but I have to say it's rare because most people I talk to, they all have money mountains. It's rare that you have people that have to go out on the weekly to purchase stuff to list that week. And to those of you that are doing that, I bow to you. I bow to you. That is my dream situation. That is my lifetime goal. I am going to get to the point where I can thrift on a Saturday, Sunday, have it listed that week. Thrift on a and have
Shout out to Billy, Frugal Flamingo.
Billy does that.
Flamingo. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I know
He's
a handful of
rocking
people that do that and they do it well. And I have to say the majority of us have money mountains.
I think
still go for more.
The key for people like that is they're structured with the rest of their week too. They have it planned that I'm going to go to the bins on Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I'm photographing, I'm listing, I'm like, they have that stuff planned out because if they want to go to the bins next Tuesday, they need to make sure that they did Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that you can't have those other kind of busy tasks in your life because there are times you need to do those certain things. They have to be done. The researching, the organizing, that stuff does have to be done. But just remember one of the biggest things you got to focus on are the things that actually bring in money to keep your job going, to keep to keep your business going. You know, those are the things that are important.
There are plenty of times I find myself just clicking around on my computer. I'm like looking at numbers. But I don't need any of those numbers. It's not a time that I set aside that week to put in numbers or run reports or do whatever. I'm just clicking around, looking at things and then I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Like, there's no reason to even be on my computer right now. I need to list.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that goes in that whole like mental overload thing because I had that last night when we were at Reseller Reset and I was setting up my calendar for the week and I opened up my tick inbox and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much stuff in here and I don't know where to slot it in. And I realized I really have to sit down again because I did my brain dump or brain sparkle, as Libby likes to call it, of all the things that I need to get done or want to get done. But now I need to go in again and reassess what is most important first, right? Because my brain is overloaded right now with all of these things that I want to create and get out to the world for you people to enjoy. And it's not what's going to bring the money now that I need. So I've got to figure that out. And I think that a lot of times we get mental overload because there's so many things that we're trying to think about and decisions and all these kind of things, you know, how to do it, what to do. Yeah. It's tiring.
Yeah.
It's tiring. Yeah. I mean, we had our friend Nisha who went to go she was talking this morning in Motivation in Minutes that she had a great buyout that she got to do this weekend and hadn't even thought about the mental overload that entails just going to do that. She was physically tired. I'm like, girl, your brain must be tired because she was talking about how she was a bunch of antique 100-year-old stuff that she was having to do her comps on the spot, research and all. And I'm like, as she's saying it, I'm like, oh, wait, I need more coffee. This is hurting my brain thinking about all that she did in that time. And we don't think about those things about, sometimes there's no clock out time and we're always thinking and our brain is going and it gets to be a lot.
And like the decision fatigue, I experienced this and it got me in a lot of trouble. it's just the constant decisions. Like we're just constantly, like when you have a business, you are constantly making decisions. Somebody's constantly asking you a question. Like it is unending. And then you put yourself kind of at risk to, offload some of that or some of the decisions you should be making, giving them to somebody else because you're just mentally exhausted. You're fatigued.
Yeah.
I felt that. Oh, I was really in that decision fatigue thing.
You're making me think of something that I hadn't thought about, but when I went to Charleston several weeks back with Lisa, our sweet friend Lisa, she has a lot going on in her life between she's got her full-time job, her reselling job, recently lost her father, the care of her mother. There's just a lot on her plate. And I know she doesn't mind me talking about this because she's very open about these things. But when we went to Charleston and it was like, well, what do you want to do? She's like, I don't want to make one single decision. I want you to do it all. Because she has spent the last 6 months having to make so many decisions for her family and her business and I was like, all right, just if I suggest something and you don't like it, tell me now that you'll say I'd rather not. And then we can, because there's 1,000 things. But that is that very, very example right there. She was just mentally overloaded. And now that we're talking about this, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I was able to offer her that reprieve and let her have that rest and take decision making off her hands for 4 days and let her just relax and enjoy. Yeah.
What a gift. Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that until we're just having this conversation. So yeah.
I've been to that point before where people are like, well, what do you want to do for this? My birthday? What do you want to do for your birthday? What do you want to? I don't want to make any plans. I want somebody else to just tell me this is what we're doing on your birthday. And my family had a hard time with that. I'm the plan maker. I'm the one that makes everything happen. And I tell everybody where to go and what to do and how to do it. And we now do an annual kayaking trip on the Friday before my birthday. And we do a camping trip on my birthday. Like we do all this stuff because everybody made all these plans for my 30th. And then we were like, that was so fun last year. Let's do it for the next one. And now it's a thing. It's great. So sometimes you just need to tell your family too. Like, I don't want to make any more decisions right now. I need you guys to take care of this. I need you to do this. They'll surprise you. It was really fun.
You got to enjoy that. Talking on the family thing, I had an aha moment the other day that we're going to talk about this, where we mentioned earlier about your family and how owning your business affects your family and that kind of thing, and your relationships that can take a hit when you're running your own business and working from home like this. And I had a real aha moment the other day because if you've listened to us before and know who we are and what we do, my husband has become uber involved in my business. He loves the reselling world. He's a banker at heart. That's his big job. But when he comes home, he's all about what's going on, and he does all my shipping, and he wants to go. He just loves it all, right? All of it. So the other night, we had been working all day and then I'm done, right? And so the other night I'm talking to him and he's at the dining room table, but I'm on the couch and I'm saying something and I'm like, are you listening to me? And I turn around and I go, honey, and he goes, what? He's typing away. I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm cross-listing. And I'm like, did you not hear anything I just said? He goes, no, I'm working. I got it. And this is what I do to him so often. We do this to our family and it can be driving in the car when you're not really working, but the two of you are on your way to a vacation, but you're answering messages and he starts talking and you're not listening. He's like, are you listening to me? Do you hear what I'm saying? I'm like, just hold on. Let me finish this. And then I finish that, but then I go on to the next message. He's like, how long is that message? Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I went on to another message. Like it just keeps going on and on and on, right?
I love how you're like, wait, that's not cool that you did that to me.
I got such a taste of my own medicine that it was really eye-opening. Like, oh, I do this to him all the time. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So, and then I'm like, "Rah, rah, rah." Yeah, it doesn't
Right.
feel good.
Right. All right. We've talked about all the things that feel heavy and feel bad and make us feel burnt out or stressed or frazzled
Or guilty.
What are we doing to fix it, guys?
Oh, girl, we got so much to fix it. We got so much to fix it.
We have to pivot. We've got to change the way we're doing things so that we can feel better about it.
Boundaries is huge. That's, I think, a big thing to talk about. What are some suggestions to fix the boundary issue? Because that will encompass a lot of these issues.
Having a schedule was the biggest part. It's really hard to set boundaries and say, guys, I'm working. If you can't tell them, like, when are you working? What does that look like? So once I got structure and a schedule of my processes, then I could relay that to my husband or my parents and say, okay, on Tuesdays, I am at home and I'm in my office, but I'm doing these things. So you cannot interrupt me. Or Wednesdays are a little more flexible. If you want to go thrifting together, I can do that. Or like having a schedule and being able to tell them Thursday afternoons, I'm all yours. I don't have anything scheduled on those days. Let's do Thursday afternoons. Like that makes a big difference, just having a schedule. And they don't need to know what's in the schedule. They just need to know I am not available after 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. or whatever your times are. Like, I'm busy.
Or before you agree to something, let me check my schedule. Like that kind of sets a precedent, right? Like you have a schedule, you have to put it in. One of my favorite things is if somebody is like physically present, I'll be like, let me check my schedule, and like go over to the computer, pull it up, and they're like, that's your schedule? Holy cow.
Because
all right, well, maybe, and all of a sudden, like they're adjusting, right? Because they've like no idea. Like to see it is it's overwhelming. Let's be honest.
Yeah, because we put right in our schedule, we put listing, and there's a time block for 3 or 4 hours. We put that we're photographing or whatever those things are. Put that right in there. You can move them. You can do what you want with them that day, but they're in there and you have that time set aside. Yeah. And it shows.
Scheduling is huge.
Yeah. Like a physical boundary.
That's what I was going to say.
A door is huge.
Doors are huge.
Yeah.
Locked doors are even better, guys. Even better.
But what if they start going and they're knocking while you're recording something and you're like, damn it, no.
Are you talking about my father?
Libby's got even a better idea for the closed door that goes even beyond the closed door.
All right. So, and my mom made it. I'm not taking credit that I made the sign, but I have a sign that flips. It says like, when I'm recording or doing something that can't be interrupted, that sign is flipped. It says, do not knock or enter. I am recording. And I have to use that. Yeah. And it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
You just can't be the
even
girl
for the mailman. Even for the mailman. Like the mailman sees that sign because he used to like to stop in every once in a while and catch up.
If you go back to more episodes, he might be in there. You have to make sure that you also don't abuse these boundaries that you're setting up. So having that sign flipped on your door all the time when they can see or they know, like, well, she wasn't recording for 8 hours today. Like, that is going to make them sign blind and not respect your boundaries because they just see it all the time. Putting up an electric fence could also help ward people off.
I love it.
But also make sure you have a sign for that so that there's no liabilities or legal issues. I mean, there's that.
Dedicated workspace that you can close off is huge. Because I do a lot of my work downstairs and Nick comes in and out of that, whether he's coming home for lunch or whatever, and that's typically fine. If I'm working downstairs and we're having one of our big meetings that has our Patreon members, I will text him before I go on that meeting. And FYI, I'm downstairs and I'll be in a meeting until 2. That way he knows when he comes in, not to come in and, hey, babe, like he'll quietly come in and, that kind of thing. So I will let him know ahead of time.
Yeah.
Communication is huge. But the closed door, he knows when I come up here and close that door, that's a whole different language. That's a do not bother. Do
And
not
let's talk
enter.
about where this all starts. You have to respect your time. If you're not respecting your time, nobody else is going to. You need the boundary starts with you. Don't expect people to respect your time if you don't, because they absolutely won't.
Absolutely.
And I think you too, the boundaries on the flip side, you have to make boundaries for your work time and boundaries so that you have the free time that you need. And that is where things like your mental health come into play. You know, all of that when you do that.
Yeah. So I literally schedule dinner with my family, and I have like a 3-hour block. And even though, you know, Maria's off to college now and it's Bill and I, and we order pizza a lot, it's whatever. It's still that time that I set aside for him. And I will talk to him at the beginning of the day or the week of like, what do you want to do? You want to, oh, well, let's go to the casino on Tuesday. Okay, I'll stop working at 3 and then we'll do that. And those are the times that I've made that schedule with him. I've made that plan. I'm not going to have my laptop on the couch. I don't even remember the last time I got my laptop out in the living room, because when I'm in the living room, I'm spending time with him, unless I'm sick and we set up a table and I'm like doing some adaptive working, because I also want to die at the same time. So there are times that you can blend it a little bit, but you
could set a health boundary that you need to not work and just take care of yourself, by the way.
I do that sometimes. Sometimes you guys go on cruises, okay? So there's that. But I don't bring my laptop into the living room, because he expressed early on that I wasn't paying attention to him. And he felt I could be playing a game on my phone sitting next to him, and he's fine with that, because heaven forbid I just pay full attention to a movie. I don't know what's wrong with me.
None of us can anymore. None of us.
But if I'm on my computer typing away and doing stuff, that's a no-go. He feels totally ignored. He doesn't think I'm spending time with him, whatever. So I'm
going to say that some of that may be too, that he wants you to disconnect from work for your own mental health. Like he knows if you're gaming, you're resting, but if you're typing away, you're not truly taking a break. So it's probably part of him watching out for you at the same time.
True. That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. So boundaries go both ways, man. Yeah.
And because you can't hold it against them if you're like, I need boundaries, I'm working, but you're on the couch on a laptop. They can't tell the difference of what you're doing in your job.
Right.
Like what? Yeah.
Right. No, you have to set it up. I also think, as we're talking about this, boundaries, when we go into like your house becoming a warehouse kind of situation, some solutions for that. You know, I probably should have said to Nick as this business was growing, having a talk about, do you have any areas here that you want to make a boundary that we don't put stuff in? Because I really didn't give him any say in any of that. I just kind of turned our house into a bleep show. I kind of just brought it all in and made it hectic and never gave him any say in that. And, you know, it's our home, but, you know, I didn't ask him. But I should have I did set boundaries, but I didn't stick with the boundaries.
I was going to say, Bill set a boundary with his garage.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, my inventory is only taking up like half of it now. So that's fine, right? It was supposed to be none. That's fine.
You better get those car parts and snowmobile parts listed, girlfriend. And
they are listed. It is all listed. Nothing in the garage is not listed. So there's that. But
all right, your house becoming a warehouse, y'all. We do have an episode on that, and I know Libby will link it up here on the house, because we do have inventory management episodes that will help you with trying to keep your house from becoming a warehouse. And know that things change. We are great at giving advice, but we are not always great. And if you're on podcast, I'm pointing to myself right now, at walking the walk. But I can sure I know what to do. I just haven't done it properly yet, but I know what to do. So any other things on
yeah, I mean, what I did was I just moved.
Yeah, just I tried that. I've been trying hard for the last year to tell Nick we need to move and get an e-basement. I want an e-basement. I want what Libby has. I want what Anna Packard has. I want my living upstairs and the e-basement downstairs. But
Anna has 2 e-basements now.
Right. I know.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
We're-
she has 2 e-basements now.
We're not mad.
Yeah.
We're jealous.
Yeah. But I think that really the answer to all of these things, y'all, boils down to a schedule, emptying your thoughts into something, whether you record it on your phone, whether you write it on paper, whether you type it in your notes on your computer, whatever you have. Sometimes you just need to clear all that out. Clear it out, because you can't deal with mental overload and be successful. You have to have a way to clear stuff out and give your brain a break.
And then you can
Absolutely.
see where your decision fatigue is coming in too. When you write all this stuff down, what are the decisions I can give to somebody else? What are the decisions that I need to make? That way you're not making every decision, or you're not letting somebody else make the ones that are really important.
Yep.
Like put it down. It just becomes so much clearer.
Systems are key. Schedule is key. Creating the actual work hours, like Samantha said, is key. Limiting your time sourcing is key. If you're lucky enough to have your separate spaces in your house, there you go. And I think
you know
the biggest
what really helped me a lot was, it happened, sorry Molly, but it happened very recently, was the Eisenhower matrix and Tick Tick and the presentation Jason did, 12-week year, the Eisenhower matrix. Like, what was I being reactive about and what was I being proactive about? And I just keep sliding those reactive things and figuring out a way to be proactive about them. So I'm not picking up my phone in the middle of the night. I'm not picking up my phone first thing in the morning. I'm not reacting. That is not my, and it's made a crazy difference to not be reactive, like when I walk in the house to the clutter, when I walk downstairs to the clutter, to not be reactive. Just think about the ways you can be proactive. It's nuts.
Yeah.
And one of those ways when we talk about schedule, you have to have a listing system and some sort of processes in place. You can't just be like, I work from 9 to 4. Like that, what are you going to do in that time? Are you going to photograph first? Are you then going to measure? Are you going to do each item at a time and list it, photograph it, list it, cross list it, and then go to the next item? Like, what is your process and how does that look in order to set that schedule up?
Like, I know I need to list 20 hours a week, right? Like I know that. I just, I can move it around. That's where the flexibility comes in, right? Like, all right, well, if you need me to do this for you, I can fit it in here, or I could slide this down if I have, something else I have to do. But like, know what your boundaries are with work, and you can still be flexible. I'm not saying like don't be flexible.
Yes.
Like that's a reason we do this. Just don't be too flexible.
Yeah, it's so much easier to say, yes, I can go to coffee with you tomorrow at 11 if you know that you can get your photographs done before that. And then when you're done with coffee, you can go to the Goodwill and then come home and finish your listings or whatever your process is. But you can't do that if going to coffee is going to stress you out because you feel guilty about not working, and then you're not being present with your friend, and then it's a whole avalanche if you don't know what your next step is going to be.
I go back to my early telling people to use the carrot. If coffee with your friend is the carrot and you're going to meet them at 9, but you got to get 10 listings up that day, get up an hour earlier and get the 10 listings done before you go, at least get part of the process done, and do that. That way you're able to enjoy it more.
Or tell your friends, hey, I have to get these 10 listings done, or I'm going to have to cancel on you, or I'm going to have to postpone. They'll call you, make sure you have them done.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Just remember, prioritize the things that bring in the income. So important. So important. All right, I'm going to try this again. So listen, we didn't start these businesses to feel burnt out in our own homes. We did not. That was not the main plan. So if you're trying to build your business with boundaries, with balance, with freedom, all those things we love, stick with us, because that's what we're doing here. That's what Consignment Chats helps people build and helps ourselves build along the way, and reminds ourselves of the mistakes we're making. That's what we're doing. So make sure you join along. And if you got something out of this video, please make sure that you hit that hype button. If you see it, it's still up. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. We appreciate it. Helps us keep the lights on.
Yes, thank you guys very much.
Yep. All right, ladies. Until next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a morel. It's almost morel season.
Thanks for being here with us on Consignment Chat. Find everything we do at consignmentchats.com and stay connected with us by subscribing wherever you listen or watch. We'll see you next time.